Hey, Cowboys Nation. This is Cowboys Wire News, your home for breaking news, smart analysis, rumors, and film room insights. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a snap. Let's talk America's team. When the news hit that DK Metcalf was swapping the black and gold of the Pittsburgh Steelers for the iconic blue star of the Dallas Cowboys, the internet practically exploded. Social media went wild. Fans started theorizing, and analysts were scrambling to make sense of the move. For months, whispers had been floating around that Metcalf wasn't entirely satisfied with how he was being used in Pittsburgh's offensive system. The Steelers had tried to mold him into a possession receiver, but everyone who knows DK understands that he thrives on big plays, deep balls, and highlight moments. So when the opportunity came to join Dallas, a team craving that kind of explosiveness, he didn't hesitate. It's a trade that feels both shocking and inevitable at the same time. The Cowboys get a certified weapon for Dak Prescott, and Metcalf gets the stage he's always wanted, prime time, under the brightest lights in football. It's the kind of headline that doesn't just shake the league, it changes its entire rhythm. And if there's one thing fans know about Jerry Jones, it's that he doesn't do subtle. This move screams star power, ambition, and a statement that Dallas wants the crown again. Now, imagine the scene in Dallas when that trade call went through. Jerry Jones, with that trademark grin, probably knew he'd pulled off something big, something that would electrify not just the fan base, but the entire NFL conversation. DK Metcalf walking into the Star, shaking hands with Prescott, and slipping into that crisp white and blue jersey, that's a visual straight out of a Hollywood script. The Cowboys have been searching for that missing piece in their receiving core, someone who can dominate physically, stretch defenses, and make defensive coordinators lose sleep. With CeeDee Lamb already thriving as the dynamic route runner, adding DK brings balance and brutality. It's thunder and lightning in one offense. The Steelers, on the other hand, lose a player who brought both swagger and fear to opposing secondaries. But you can't deny the sense that this was coming. Dallas had been lurking in the shadows, and now they've got their man. It's not just a roster move, it's a statement. A warning to the rest of the league. The Cowboys are all in, and they're not playing around this season. What's fascinating is how perfectly DK Metcalf seems to fit the Cowboys culture. He's got the attitude, the charisma, the physical presence. It's as if he was designed in a lab to be a Dallas superstar. The Cowboys have always thrived on personality, from the days of Michael Irvin to Terrell Owens to Dez Bryant, and now Metcalf carries that torch. He's got the look, the style, the confidence, and that chip on his shoulder that Dallas fans adore. Off the field, his intensity matches the Cowboys' America's team spotlight. On the field, he's going to give Prescott a weapon that changes how defenses line up. You can already hear commentators predicting monster games, ESPN panels arguing if this makes Dallas a legitimate Super Bowl favorite. The chemistry between Dak and DK could redefine the Cowboys' offense entirely. And let's be honest, this is the kind of bold move that could either make Dallas unstoppable or create chaos if egos clash. But either way, it's going to be must-watch football every single week, and fans can't wait to see how it unfolds once the season kicks off. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh's reaction has been a mix of heartbreak and understanding. The Steelers fans have always appreciated Metcalf's fire and passion, but they also knew something wasn't clicking lately. The offense had become predictable, the play calling conservative, and DK's explosive style didn't always fit within that structure. Rumors say there were some tense conversations behind closed doors. Metcalf reportedly wanted more vertical plays, more opportunities to showcase his elite speed. Mike Tomlin, as always, tried to keep things under wraps, but you could sense the growing frustration on both sides. The Steelers now move forward with George Pickens as their new top option, while Dallas celebrates a blockbuster acquisition. It's the nature of the NFL, talent moves, narratives shift, and one city's heartbreak becomes another's celebration. Yet, it's hard to deny that Pittsburgh will miss that fire. The sight of Metcalf flexing after a 40-yard touchdown was something fans had come to love. Now, Cowboys Nation gets to experience that same energy, and the rest of the NFC better be prepared for it. For Dallas, this trade isn't just about numbers or stats. It's about making a statement in a league where flash and results go hand in hand. The Cowboys have spent years trying to regain that aura, that fear factor they once commanded in the 90s glory days. Adding DK Metcalf doesn't just bolster their offense. It reignites the swagger that defines this franchise. Dak Prescott, often criticized for inconsistency, suddenly has a target who can turn an average throw into a viral moment. You can already picture those Sunday night games, the camera zooming in on Metcalf as he lines up, the crowd roaring, and opposing corners shaking their heads knowing what's coming. The Cowboys didn't just acquire a wide receiver, they brought in a cultural shift. A megastar whose very presence demands attention. And for Jerry Jones, that's exactly what he's always wanted. Spectacle, success, and the spotlight firmly on Dallas once again. And that's what makes this move so wild. It feels like destiny and strategy collided at just the right time. The Cowboys were one big playmaker away from being a serious contender, and now they've got one of the most explosive in the game. There's talk that Metcalf's arrival could even change how the entire NFC playoff picture looks. Defenses will have to pick their poison between Lamb and DK, while Tony Pollard adds that punch from the backfield. It's football poetry waiting to happen. Sure, there's pressure, and the spotlight burns hotter in Dallas than anywhere else. But if anyone's built for that, it's DK Metcalf. He's been doubted before, questioned before, and every single time he's answered with results. Now, with the star on his helmet and a chip on his shoulder, the NFL might be witnessing the rise of something special, a new era of Cowboys football, with Metcalf at the center of it all. The buzz around the Cowboys training facility is already unreal. Reports say the moment DK Metcalf stepped onto the practice field, the tempo changed completely. Players fed off his intensity, his swagger, his energy. Coaches were grinning, fans camped outside to catch a glimpse, and the Dallas media circus lit up like the 4th of July. Even Dak Prescott was reportedly amped up in a way teammates hadn't seen since his breakout seasons. There's something about adding a player like Metcalf that elevates everyone around him. He's not just a receiver, he's a presence. You can feel it in the air. Analysts have started calling this version of the Cowboys the modern-day Showtime offense, comparing it to peak Romo-Tedesco chemistry, but with even more athletic dominance. Some even say this might be the move that saves Prescott's legacy. Because now, there are no excuses. The weapons are there, the defense is solid, and the NFC looks wide open. It's all or nothing for Dallas, and that's exactly how Jerry Jones likes it. For him, this trade isn't just a roster adjustment, it's a declaration. The Cowboys aren't rebuilding. They're reloading for a run that could define the next chapter of their history. But here's where it gets really spicy. Word around the league is that Metcalf had quietly been eyeing Dallas for months. Insiders claim that during the offseason, he and Dak connected at a private workout in California. Pure coincidence, according to their reps. But come on, nothing in the NFL happens by accident. They reportedly clicked instantly, tossing deep balls under the sun, sharing laughs, and talking strategy. That chemistry might have planted the first seed for what we're seeing now. Once the Cowboys front office got wind that Metcalf was even remotely open to a move, they pounced. Negotiations with Pittsburgh were intense, fast, and quiet. Exactly how Jerry likes his business handled. When the deal finally went through, Metcalf's camp kept it classy, thanking the Steelers and fans, but insiders say he's been grinning ear to ear ever since. The word liberated has come up more than once from those close to him. He's ready to shine in a system that celebrates his strengths instead of containing them. Dallas didn't just get a player. They got a man hungry to prove he's still among the elite, and that hunger could fuel something extraordinary this season. And if we're being honest, this feels like one of those moves that changes everything, not just for Dallas, but for the NFL as a whole. Every time a superstar shifts teams, it sends shockwaves through the league. Defenses in the NFC East are already recalibrating their game plans. Imagine being a corner in Philadelphia or New York right now, knowing you've got to deal with DK Metcalf twice a year, plus CeeDee Lamb on the other side. Nightmare fuel. And for Dallas fans, this is vindication. Years of heartbreak, false hope, and playoff collapses have weighed heavy on them. But with Metcalf, there's this electric sense that something's different. He brings not just skill, but belief. The kind that makes you think anything's possible. You can feel it in the fan chatter, in talk radio, in the way people are already buying number 14 jerseys by the thousands. This isn't just a trade, it's a movement. The Cowboys are suddenly cool again, dangerous again. And for a franchise that's always thrived under the brightest spotlight, that's exactly where they want to be, center stage, every camera pointed right at them. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. Still, behind the excitement, there's that quiet whisper. Can it all work? Dallas has never been short on talent, but chemistry? That's another story. Metcalf's fiery personality could clash with the team's media-heavy environment. He's never been shy about voicing frustrations, and Dallas isn't exactly a city known for patience when the stakes are high. The Cowboys' locker room, while tight-knit, is filled with big personalities. Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott, Trevon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb. Adding another alpha could be explosive in the best or worst sense. But that's the gamble you take for greatness. Jerry Jones knows this. He's seen egos, legends, and chaos before. The key will be channeling that energy into winning. If they start hot, everything flows. If they stumble early, the headlines will turn sharp and fast. But that's what makes Dallas football addictive. The drama, the risk, the spectacle. It's not just about X's and O's. It's about the storylines that make fans tune in even when they're frustrated. And right now, the biggest storyline in football revolves around one man, DK Metcalf, and the silver star shining on his helmet. Meanwhile, over in Pittsburgh, there's quiet reflection. The Steelers' culture is built on discipline, structure, and a certain old-school mentality. Metcalf's departure leaves a gap, but it also opens doors for younger players to step up. The team believes in its next wave of talent, and while losing a star always hurts, sometimes it resets the tone of a locker room. Word is that Mike Tomlin handled the situation with total professionalism, as always, and wished Metcalf the best. Still, there's no denying that this move has emotional weight. It's a reminder that in today's NFL, loyalty and longevity often take a back seat to fit and freedom. Fans in Pittsburgh will always remember the moments, the leaping catches, the celebrations, the fire, but they also know this is a business. And as the Cowboys move forward, the Steelers rebuild quietly, focusing on their identity. It's two franchises heading in opposite directions for now, one chasing glory under bright lights, the other retooling in the shadows. But as history shows, both teams have a knack for surprising the league when least expected. That's the beauty of football. It's never just about who wins today, but who sets up the future the smartest way. As the season approaches, all eyes will be on Dallas. Training camp videos, preseason snaps, even sideline interactions. Every move DK Metcalf makes will be analyzed, debated, celebrated, or criticized. That's the life of a Cowboy. The bright lights magnify everything, for better or worse. But maybe that's exactly what Metcalf needs, a stage big enough for his talent and personality. He's not built to fade quietly into a system. He's built to dominate, to perform, to captivate. And the Cowboys? They live for that. So whether this experiment ends in fireworks or frustration, one thing's for sure, it won't be boring. The NFL just got louder, flashier, and a lot more interesting. And somewhere in Texas tonight, you can bet Jerry Jones is raising a glass, smiling that knowing smile, thinking, we did it again. Because love them or hate them, the Cowboys always find a way to keep the world watching. And with DK Metcalf in the mix, that spotlight's about to burn brighter than ever before. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.